You know that feeling, right? You type a question into an AI and bam, in seconds, this perfectly formed response just appears. It sounds confident. I mean, it sounds right. And for most people, that's it. That's where we stop. But what if you knew what was really going on behind the screen? You'd know something incredibly useful. You'd know when to trust it. And just as importantly, when to check again. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on how this whole thing actually works. Here's what the AI is really doing. It doesn't write your answer all at once. Nope. It builds it one tiny piece at a time. Each little piece is called a token. Think of it like a word, or maybe even just part of a word. It just picks one token, then it picks the next one, and the next. And it does this over and over thousands of times until the response is finally done. You know, the keyboard on your phone, when you type, I'll be there in a, and your phone suggests minute, moment, or bit. Well, the AI is actually doing that. It's actually doing that, 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 it's actually doing that. The AI is basically doing the same thing. It just looks at everything that's been written so far and asks one very simple question. What word most likely comes next? It picks one, then asks again. That's it. No reasoning, no real thinking, just what comes next. And this is why AI sounds so fluent. It was trained on billions of human sentences. So it's learned what words usually follow other words. But this is also why it can be so confidently wrong. See, it picks what sounds plausible, not what is provably true. So what happens when plausible isn't actually true? That's where we get what people call hallucinations. But look, an AI doesn't lie. It can't. It doesn't even know what lying means. What it does is it just fills in the gaps. Think of it like a student taking a big exam on a book they only half read, right? They remember some characters, some of the themes, the general vibe. So they write an answer. They connect with the answer. They connect with the dots that they have. But the specific details, they just make them up. And they write it with the same confidence as the parts they actually know. That is a hallucination. It's not malice. It's not confusion. It's just a pattern matching machine that's run out of a good pattern to finish from. And here's the catch. You can ask the AI for sources and it'll give you book titles, author names, publication years, and those can be made up too. It learned the shape of a citation from reading real ones, so it can just build a new one that looks totally real with no actual paper behind it. The fix is pretty simple though. For anything that matters, you've got to verify. Just ask the same question twice, in two different chats. Real sources, they tend to stay the same. But the made up ones, they drift. The title changes slightly. The year shifts by one. It's not a guarantee, for sure, but it's a fast smell check. Okay? So here's something almost nobody does, and it's a real game changer. Before you even ask your question, ask the AI to list its assumptions first. You just type. Before answering, tell me what you're assuming about my context. It might come back and say, I'm assuming you mean Python, not JavaScript. I'm assuming a production environment. And if those assumptions are wrong, you correct them. Then you ask. That one step changes the quality of everything that follows. Because really, AI is just a mirror of your thinking. Vague in, vague out, specific in, specific out, there's no magic. If you get a generic answer, it's probably because you asked a generic question. If you get a generic answer, it's probably because you asked a generic question. And this brings us to the real secret to getting better AI results. Most people spend all their energy on the prompt. They try all these different phrasings. They tweak the wording. They're always searching for the perfect way to ask. But honestly, that's the wrong place to look. What matters way more is what comes before the prompt. It's the context you give the AI, the files you load, the background you give it on what you're working on, whether you've turned on search so it can access fresh information. I'm telling you, a basic prompt is the best way to get the best results. It's the best way to get the best results. It's the best way to get the best results. A well-configured environment beats a brilliant prompt in an empty chat window every single time. The prompt is the last step, not the first. This is the real difference between people who find AI useful and people who find it disappointing. It's not prompt skill, it's setup skill. So next time you open a chat, don't start with your question. Start with your context. So I'll leave you with this. What assumptions does your AI have about you right now? What assumptions does your AI have about you right now?